of No Media started in concept in 2008 when I was having a rather interesting set of circumstances. The apartment that I was living in for about 10 years, my lease was up, the owners were going to start turning into condos, so I had to move out. At the same time, both of my parents, unfortunately, were very, very sick. So I only had about a month and a half, 2 months to find myself a new place to live with a couple of different, very important articles assigned to it. Number one, I wanted to be close enough to my parents that I could continue to visit them as often as I wanted to. But number two, I also had to make my life fit in whatever place that I happen to choose to live. So I want you to picture me inside this carriage house, and I tell you that this seating area here would be about twice the size of the total living area of this carriage house. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to figure out how could I possibly make this work, because again, I wanted to maximize the amount of time I could spend with my folks. It'd be great to just be able to drop in anytime I wanted. And I suddenly realized that the only reason why I could not possibly make the carriage house work is that I'm a very tactile media sort of a hoarder, not cable TV hoarder sort of guy. But if there's a book that I want and I want to keep it, I'll keep it. If there's a DVD that I've already ripped for my iPod or my Apple TV, I'll hold on to the physical DVD. Piles and piles and piles. I did not know what the color of my carpets were until I packed up my 10-year-old apartment and suddenly said, oh wow, brown. Poor newspapers, poor magazines. I write for the Chicago Sun-Times. I'm glad that I have other revenue streams, because really, you got the internet, and you can read every newspaper on the internet. You also got Google Reader, which will prevent you from having to visit with these websites specifically, and will simply collect every interesting article from every newspaper you like into one scrolling window. Google Reader is my access point to every piece of written information everywhere in the world. Honestly, this was one of those areas where there was absolutely no change to my behavior whatsoever. I didn't really purchase newspapers and magazines before that year, and I didn't purchase it during it, and now I still don't purchase those magazines. So that's an A-. Rarely can you not find something you want. I will say one thing though, there's only one area which I even missed it a little, and that's that 15-minute period after the cabin door closes on the airplane and when they finally tell you you can turn on your electronic devices again. Because this is when I would purchase, this is why I would purchase my copy of People magazine. I can get through it in 20 minutes, I can pretend to care about Brangelina and the octuplets, you know, for that 20-minute period. It keeps me amused and distracted. For an entire year, I had to simply fold my arms, think of something else, be alone in there with my own sick, twisted, evil thoughts. That's a very, very dark, low-ceiling room, ladies and gentlemen. I have my colorful garb may betray the idea of a merry demeanor, but I swear, don't let these colorful raiments fool you. I'm actually kind of a dark individual.